All right, so we're you're gonna get the full insomnia hawk here at 5:40 in the morning in Nashville. You can watch the video on my page right before this, the one that's titled "Authenticity," for some context, I guess. But so I got back into individual weekly therapy at the beginning of this year for PTSD with a trauma specialist. And this might sound a little weird, but one of the things that we've been working on that I've been thinking a lot about, especially this trip out here to Nashville, one of the things that I've been working on with my therapist is I am intensely uncomfortable with receiving praise, like with receiving like positive feedback. Which over the last, I don't know, year and a half, I guess, I've been getting quite a bit of through my TikTok videos and YouTube videos. And, you know, I mean, it's something that my brother's been pretty dialed into with me for quite a while. And like for a couple of years, you know, he's always encouraged me when I do like video replies to comments, because I tend to do a lot of video reply comments to, or video replies to comments that are negative. And, you know, because humor's always been a defense mechanism for me. And so it's like, it's easier for me to feel like safe if I'm using my humor to respond to comments that are negative, as opposed to just like authentically, you know, doing a video reply to a positive comment. For some reason that feels very unsafe to me, and it's extremely challenging and difficult for me to kind of let those positive comments in and to just like accept them and sit with that and thank people who have nice things to say. I'm still not entirely sure why. It's just intensely uncomfortable, and I really wish that it wasn't, because it's like, you know, I know that when people make those kinds of comments on my videos, or when people recognize me out in public and have really nice things to say, I don't know why. It just makes me really uncomfortable. And I guess in some ways it's like, you know, it makes me feel kind of inauthentic. Even though everything is meant, you know, in the absolute best way and with the absolute best of intentions. And, you know, I mean, it's easy for me to be like polite and respectful and happy and things like that in those moments. And a whole bunch of those moments happened Thursday night when my brother and I were at the Bulwark event, and it was great, man. It was wonderful. You know, people were recognizing me left and right, and a lot of people wanted to take photos with me and stuff like that, and I did all of that, and it was great. It was fine. And, you know, I mean, it makes me happy to see other people happy, you know. But I'm working on trying to get a better understanding of why that's difficult for me. You know, because it's something that I don't like. It's something that feels unreasonable to me, I guess, to react that way. And I think part of it is, it's like, even though I record all of these videos and I post all of this stuff to the internet, it's like, that's the internet. I'm a very private person, like in real life, and I tend to be a bit of an introvert, even though I don't really seem like that. I'm looking forward to nothing more than in a year or so buying a remote cabin up in the mountains away from people. And it's always been this contradictory thing for me, because I've always kind of been like this, but it's like, growing up, I've also played in bands where it's like I'm the drummer playing in front of 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 people, and like with that, it's like I've dedicated decades of my life to becoming a good drummer, a good performing drummer, and but then get uncomfortable when I get positive feedback from people about that. And now we've got this whole thing that's come up with TikTok and YouTube over the last couple of years. But I do see all of the comments that you guys leave, and I'm deeply, deeply, deeply appreciative of them. And they make my day, man. They really do. Even if I can't fully incorporate them on a deep level. And every single time that I've been recognized out in public has been a positive experience for me, hopefully for the people who've recognized me as well. And I don't know, man. I don't know why that is something that I struggle with. It just seems very contradictory and very odd to me. But I think, part of it is, it's like, I've spent 50 years of my life, I'm 57 right now, I've spent 50 years of my life leaning really heavily on either my sense of humor or my skill as a drummer or my skill as an attorney or my skill doing this. And like, I'm finally kind of starting to accept a lot of the things that my brother tells me. It's like, I do have a skill for what I do in TikTok videos. It's like I think I've relied so heavily on those skills and getting that feedback from other people just as a way for me to finally start to sort of feel good about myself. And so it's like, on the one hand, it's like there's that craving of external validation, but being unable to fully accept it or experience it when it arrives. It's a weird thing, but so at 5:52 in the morning on a Saturday, that's an update on what I've been working on in therapy. Have a good Saturday, everybody.